Have you seen the latest bombshell dropped on social media? The President of the United States just announced a major move against the housing crisis. In a post that's now going viral, he said, and I'm quoting here, "I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations." He also added that he'll be discussing this and other housing proposals at a speech in Davos in 2 weeks. This is huge. The president expressed some serious frustration, saying, "The American dream of owning a home has gotten out of reach for too many Americans, particularly young Americans." His plan is to block these large investment firms from scooping up houses, which many believe is pricing regular families out of the market. Now, the details are still fuzzy. The post didn't specify what regulatory steps he'll take, but he did mention working with Congress to make this a permanent law. This definitely has those big investors on high alert. But the biggest question everyone is asking is, can he actually do this? What power does the president really have to unilaterally stop these companies from buying homes? In our system, regulatory bodies like the SEC or the Federal Housing Administration would likely be involved. The president can certainly influence these agencies, but the legality of a direct ban wasn't explained in his post. We're all waiting for the White House to clarify the legal basis for this decision. How can they just tell a whole class of investors they're barred from a market? It's a fascinating legal and economic puzzle. This whole situation makes me think about a similar chapter in American history, but with farmland instead of family homes. Let's rewind to the 1880s. Back then, before giant corporate farms dominated the landscape, nearly 40% of farmers were tenants. They didn't own their homes or the land they worked. Their properties often reflected their debt and a sense of hopelessness. What caused this shift away from the family farm? Industrialization. To compete, farmers needed expensive machinery, which meant taking on massive debt. This pressure led to a wave of foreclosures, pushing thousands of families westward, searching for a new start. It stripped places like New England of its most capable people. But the sad irony was, the West wasn't a safe haven. Foreclosures were rampant there too. And adding fuel to the fire were the railroad monopolies. They controlled vast amounts of land and lured farmers in with what seemed like easy terms. But once the farmers were settled, the railroads would jack up the freight rates to transport their crops to market, essentially holding them hostage. It was a brutal cycle of debt and dependency. This widespread anger among farmers eventually boiled over into a political movement. Starting with the Kansas Revolt in 1880, the populist movement was born. It was fueled by falling crop prices and the crushing weight of foreclosures. Farmers were fighting for their survival. They were trying to push back against forces they barely understood, the early beginnings of produce monopolies and agribusiness. But ultimately, it was a losing battle. They were absorbed by the very system they feared. Families were forced to sign away their farms. By the 1880s, an astonishing 30% of American farmers had mortgaged their land. Debt was the weed that choked everything. The country carried over $1 billion in mortgages, a staggering sum at the time. Foreclosure sales left countless farming families destitute in a situation many considered worse than being a pauper in the city. Now, let's bring it back to today. We see a different kind of land rush, but the players are eerily similar. Instead of railroad monopolies, we have large institutional investors. Instead of family farms, it's single-family homes. The dream isn't about working the land. It's about having a place to call your own, a cornerstone of the American dream. Many people today feel like they're being squeezed out by powerful financial forces they can't compete with. The president's announcement taps directly into this frustration. It frames the issue as a fight between ordinary people and faceless corporations. This historical parallel is powerful. It shows us that battles over land, property, and who gets to own a piece of America are not new. The tools and the terminology have changed, but the fundamental conflict remains. Will the president's plan work? Will it even be legal? We don't know yet. But what we do know is that the issue of housing affordability has reached a boiling point. Whether this bold move will lead to real change or become another footnote in history is the billion-dollar question. It's a story about debt, dreams, and the very structure of our economy. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think the government should step in like this? And if you found this interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the issues that shape our world.